Alrighty, hello, hello. Howdy, howdy, howdy. How are we doing? I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. I think that's as good a time as any. Stop working, hold on. Gotta reset it. But yeah, how's it going, everybody? There we go, reset. It's just not gonna work today. Cool, cool. Okay. So I wanted to stream. I did. Because I have been noticing a lot of comments and people are like, just do this one. Are like naturally very concerned and worried about things that are going on in the world. A very certain thing. And I think we all know what it is. There is, unfortunately, a terrible war, a terrible tragedy that is going on currently in the world right now, and that is a war, a terrible and horrific war over territory. And there's a lot of people that are asking, well, why is that? What is happening? What's going on? And I don't have all of the answers. I don't. And in fact, I don't think anybody really does. But I have been doing my research, and I have bullet points, like straight up. I have written down I have a whole Word document about this tragedy, basically, where it started and what is happening. And I wanted to share that with you guys, because I felt that it was important for us to have at least a basic understanding of what's going on. My sources, let me pull them up real quick so that way I can get that perfectly for you guys. It is the UN's, or the United Nations, full website. The BBC, I used Wikipedia, and honestly, my greatest resource being TikTok, because there are people that are far more knowledgeable than me on this subject who are on TikTok and who can better understand the things that are happening than I can. So while I do have basic knowledge, I don't have as much knowledge as other people. I highly recommend going to your trusted source, whether that be YouTube or Wikipedia or, you know, whatever you choose to look into. I highly recommend doing that before we start to make assumptions as to what is happening and what's going on. This is not going to be me sharing my thoughts and feelings on the subject. Several people already know my stance on violence and of war, because despite how I play games, I'm really not into it. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I don't like that it's become a necessity. And that is my whole stance. That is all that I feel comfortable sharing at this point about my stance on everything. That is my stance. So what's going on? What's happening? There has been a battle for power since when? Since before World War One. It has been a very long time. And it is now coming to a head at full force. So I'm going to take you back, all the way back to before World War One, so we could see what happened, what's going on, why is this happening. So, for starters, before World War One, Palestine was a part of the Ottoman Empire, which was a big old deal. Everybody both didn't want to be and wanted to be a part of the Ottoman Empire. It was a big thing for the religious types. I believe it was mostly of the Catholic and /or Christian faith, because there was a big divide between the two in the European area, specifically surrounding, like, how do I explain this? Closer toward Italy, in that kind of area. That's where it was. So all around that sea, right by Italy and Greece, and in there was Palestine. The Ottoman Empire literally was forever. They're like, it's an institution. It's never gonna fall. Unfortunately, it did. So that was tragic for the Ottoman Empire. But everyone was like, I am excited, I get to share my own beliefs. And everyone was like, you know what, yeah, this sucks for a little bit, but maybe it could be a good thing. Let's see where this goes. And so everyone was like, yeah, let's go, let's do it. And so, people who were originally part of the Ottoman Empire decided, we want to live here, we want to stay here, we feel like this is a good place to be, and thank you, and good day. About, I want to say 90%? I don't know if it was like high 80s or into the 90s of percent of the people who were in Palestine at that time, from before World War One, were of the Muslim belief system or the Christian belief system. And I didn't mean to do that. And they were living together, sure, sometimes, like, they had their beefs, but they were able to live with each other pretty much respectfully. They may not have necessarily liked each other or wanted each other around, but they were respectful about it. They were like, hey, you live here, I live here, cool. And so they were respectful of each other, and it was like that for a very long time, after the empire fell. And then World War I happened. And the British were like, you know what we want to do? Like, really, really bad? We kind of just want to take over the world. We want to see everything there is to see. We want to take everything there is to take, and I will not be hearing anything about it. Thank you, and good day. And everybody was like, okay, Britain, thank you very much. Again, I'm not the best at explaining things, but this is how I have it in my brain to help me understand it. But they're like, hey, we're gonna go ahead and take your land. Thank you, and good day. And everyone's like, why are you doing this? What are you doing? Well, the long and short of it is, they were hungry for power and money and wealth, A+. The best way to have that is to control the trade routes. Right. So, they controlled the trade routes, and they're like, this is gonna make us so much money, oh my god. But Palestine was in the way, and they're like, maybe if we control Palestine, then we can, just have everything we could ever want and need, and we don't even need to worry about anybody else. And everyone that was in Palestine looked at them and went, you are so funny. That you think this is gonna work for you? Oh my god. And then it started to work, and they're like, wait, we don't want this. Why are you in our area? Why are you in our grill? Please leave us alone. And Britain said no. And they're like, okay, here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do. Alright. We want a whole independent, I'm probably gonna say this wrong, so I'm sorry. An independent Arab state. Which is basically, hey, we want to still live here. We don't want anyone controlling us. We just want to be able to be here and vibe. And it took a lot of negotiation. But eventually, Britain was like, you know what? Yeah, this was, I believe, 1916? What do my notes say? Yeah, in 1916. Britain was like, you know what? We see you. We hear you. We love what you want to do. So, you know what? Sure. Why not? We support you 100%. Let's go, girl. Like, go ahead. Live your truth. Live your life. What the fuck? Live your truth. Live your life. We love that for you. And we are going to help you out. And, you know, basically, like, we love this for you. Keep it up, girly. And everyone in Palestine and the neighboring countries that also agreed with the independent Arab state was like, thank you. We appreciate this so much. And, like, you know, we love your support. We love everything about it. And just, you know, thank you so much. And Britain was like, yeah, you know, we're the good guys, except psych. Because in the next year, in 1914, the UK signed a declaration. I cannot say this properly, and I'm sorry, I believe it's Balfour Declaration, which is the UK supporting the securing of Palestine for the Jewish people, like those of the Jewish descent. And so the people of Palestine, who were at the time mostly Muslims or Christian, were like, hey, you know, you kind of said this thing. That kind of sucks, you know, that you're going back on your word. Like, that really kind of sucks. And the UK kind of just gave them the middle finger and went on their way. And this led to a great period of what is known as Zionism. I believe I'm saying that correctly. Zionism. And what Zionism is, I'm so sorry, should have looked up the pronunciations. What that means is that they believe that it is a necessity to have a Jewish, or those of Jewish descent, what is known as an ethno-state, which is where citizenship depends on the race or ethnicity. And I should point this out before I continue, that just because someone is of Jewish descent or has Judaism in their bloodline, it does not mean that they are Zionists. It does not mean that they follow this path. Most people who are of Jewish descent are saying, hey, you know, maybe they should stop. Maybe we shouldn't be doing that. This kind of really fucking sucks. Except probably in a more respectful way. But they're like, hey, this really sucks. That should not be a thing. You know, let's be respectful of the people around and not do that. But the loudest voices are those of the Zionists. And so it became a political movement. Zionism became a full-fledged political movement. And I believe it was 1879? If I remember correctly, and I probably don't because I forgot to write down the date, and that is entirely my bad. But it was a full political movement, And everyone was like, okay, you know, whatever, fuck off, it's fine. Except it wasn't fine, because everything was going to hell. There are other countries that people wanted, that Zionists also wanted, like fully for them. I believe it was, I know that Argentina and Uganda were also considered for the like ethno-state process. I could not find too much on if there were any others, but those are the two that I know for sure that they were trying to make happen. Anyway, so this treaty, or this declaration, came into play 1917. And everybody was like, girl, like, figure it out, please. Like, most of the people here are not of that descent, or don't believe in such a religion. You know, it's kind of messed up that you're kicking us out of their homes. Like, let's maybe not do that. It's kind of messed up. And no one was like, oh, you know, our bad, whoopsie-doopsie. Instead, they doubled down with people from Britain. Again, not all the British. I want to emphasize, not all the British, not everyone from Jewish descent. It's not all of them. Just the loudest voices from this time. No, not all, but a very loud few were in. Like, they decided to work together, like, yeah, let's make this happen, let's do it. And there was a very high uptick in those that were, you know, believing in this belief. And a lot of them were like, yes, we need Palestine. We need it all for ourselves. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. And everyone was like, let's maybe not, except for the Zionists and the British. The British that were in with the Zionists. And there was conflict. Everyone was like, let's not do that. This really sucks. We're gonna fight against you. You know, we're gonna try to push you out because you're not being respectful of those of us that, you know, have been here, that, like, want to be here, that have stayed here our entire lives. You are not being respectful. I'm gonna have to ask you to leave, and I'm not going to be respectful about it. And they're like, you know what? That's fine. You know why? Because we're just gonna come in and we're just gonna be stronger. Between the time of... Let me look at my notes so I don't get it wrong. Okay. Between the time of 1922 and 1931, there was double the amount of Zionists and Palestine due to the people in Britain who were helping them out. And now this is a major cause for concern, because lots of people were realizing, oh my god, we can lose our homes in a minute because they're taking over and trying to kick us out. Super not cool. And so they started to, you know, fight back a lot more, which started to lead to more and more violence occurring, which is what a lot of people were trying not to have happen. And the people of Palestine were like, we need this to stop. We need to stop right now. Just knock it off. And the Zionists and the British were like, haha, no. So a revolt occurred. And not like, you know, it's sick, ew, gross. A revolt is when people who have been oppressed, who feel like they deserve better and know that they deserve better, they fight back against those that are like the positions of power that are making them feel in such a way. That is the kind of revolt I'm talking about. Anyway, so this revolt, the revolt of, again, let me look at my notes, of 1936 to 1939, what is known as the Arab Revolt. Again, if I'm saying it wrong, do forgive me. I am trying my best with pronunciations. But the Arab Revolt. The people of Palestine, were like, absolutely not, and began to push back. But instead of with words, they began to do so with force. And the British were like, no, and beat them to Kingdom Come. And decided, you know what? We kind of want to double down, actually. Wouldn't that be fun? Would it be fun to just, like, you know, add more to it? And everyone was like, please do not. And they're like, nah, we kind of want to anyway. And right after the revolt, everything was kind of winding down. And then World War II occurred, which featured the man with the 7 mustache hairs that we all know and hate. And after that, like, we cannot say that it was not, like, just the biggest devastation for people of Jewish descent. It was horrific. It was terrible. It was awful. However, there were still... I'm not going to say however. That's not the word I wanted to use. Everyone understood, and everyone was there for the Jewish people. And they were like, hey, you know, we can't really do too much because, you know, people have already been deceased. But we will, like, hold memorials, we will do the whole 9. And it wasn't just the people of Palestine, it wasn't just the people of the US or the UK or whatever. It was an almost global occasion. And after World War II, after the 7 mustache hairs, you know, left the building, the UK looked at what they had on their hands when it came to Palestine, and they realized they bit off more than they could chew. And they're like, we don't know what to do, like, oh my god. And they realized something. They have something that they could use. A new organization that popped up called the United Nations. The United Nations is a group of countries that work together to make sure that another 7 mustache hairs does not occur again. That was the main goal. They're like, we need to nip it in the bud. We need to work together so that way something like this does not happen again. Who is with me? And every country, or pretty much every country, raised their hand. There is another thing called the European Union. I am not entirely sure if it's affiliated with or if it's an off-branch of. It is my bad for not fully doing that research. Again, I will take full responsibility for that. But it had just been created. It was created in 1945. 2 years later, they were handed the quote-unquote matter of Palestine. And the UN went, what do we do with this? Because they didn't know what was happening. UK said, here you go, wiped their hands, and walked away. Okay, you know, we don't really know what we're doing here, but you know, we're gonna see what we can do. And they were like, okay, here's what's up. Here's what we are going to do. we are going to do what is known as the Partition Plan. The Partition Plan was created in 1947, and what that did was it cut off a chunk of Palestine and was like, we are going to have those of Jewish descent be in this portion of Palestine, and they will be protected. This is their land. Like, this is what we believe would be best. And the people of Palestine were like, you know, like, you could have talked to us, you know, see if we could have done something. And the UN was like, no, this is what we believe to be best. So, make it so. Do it. And I was like, okay. So, it granted this partition plan. It granted a little over, I don't know how much over, but I know it was just a little over half of Palestine to create a new Jewish ethno-state, which we talked about before, with the ethno-state being the citizenship that depends on race or ethnicity. So, this new ethno-state was created for those of Jewish descent. And it was in Palestine. And Palestine was separated in a way that made it kind of look like Swiss cheese. Meaning that their next door neighbor was, you know, the Palestinian people. And everyone was like, you know what, this kind of sort of really sucks. We don't really know what to do here. But we just know we're not the biggest fan of it, so is there any way, you know, maybe one person can have all of the area, and then one group, not my group, can get out, and then we don't have to, you know, worry about the separation of land or anything. Just one group can leave. You know, that's fine. But they're like, no, you know what? Let's try to work this out first. You know, let's see if we can't, you know, try to find a common ground, see what we can do about this situation. And they were living together while they were still, you know, angry. Like, you just gave up our land without telling us about it. But you know what? It's fine. Everything is fine, said through gritted teeth. And so, in May of 1948, the nation of Israel was finally declared. They're like, here's what's up. This is what we're doing. It's our nation, built on the foundation of the ethno-state. And the Palestinians that lived there were like, fuck. You know, because now we have to get out and leave. It was not done peacefully. It was a violent removal of the Palestinian people from the new Israeli nation. Basically. And keep in mind, this is not necessarily... I'm not gonna say that. There's no real winners, and there's no real good guys. I want to make that perfectly clear. None of the above. But, anyway, to continue on, it was, I believe, a little over 75,000 Palestinian people that were living in the New Israel were violently displaced. Like, taken out of their homes, you gotta go now. And they're like, dude, what the fuck? But they left because, like, you know, they can't really do anything else. They left and they... Oh, it's an elephant. I scared the crap out of me. Okay. Alright. So, back in action. The Palestinians had their sections of the Palestine, the original Palestine, and the Israeli people had their sections of what was originally Palestine. Zionists looked at this and went, you know, I don't think I'm satisfied with this. I think I want all of it. I think that sounds good. I would like all of it, please, and thank you. And they're like, you know what we can do? We can be so sneaky, and we can push our boundaries, you know, just a little. Just a little bit of pushing. Okay, no one's gonna know. Okay, don't tell mom. But we can push a little, and it'll be fine. The Palestinian people were like, you cannot push a little, actually. We need you to not do that. You have your space, we have ours, and while we don't necessarily want to share, we're not gonna be like, hey, you know, get out of our area. The Zionists looked at that and said LOL, and continued to try to push their boundaries. The boundaries of the Israeli settlements. Because of this, all of this anger, this hatred, and people overstepping the bounds, it led, excuse me while I take a drink, it led to the War of 1967. This war sucked. There's no two ways about it. The war sucks. Point blank. End of story. Done. Right, that's just how it is. The war sucks. This made it so Israel can occupy East Jerusalem and the West Bank. I believe the West Bank includes what is known as the Gaza Strip. The Gaza Strip is currently where a lot of refugees are, like just right now in the world. So when they mention Gaza or the Gaza Strip, this is what we're talking about. This area right here that Israel got in the War of 1967. Now, Israel, they had this land, and they kept it on a very tight leash. They're like, this is our land, not yours, get wrecked. You know, we're gonna hold down this fort, and we're gonna keep it. And they occupied Gaza until about 2005. So if we do that math, that is a little over, or a little under 40 years that Israel occupied the Gaza Strip. At some point in 2005, they're like, you know what? We are gonna take a step back. It's still gonna be our control. We're still gonna have military there. It's still gonna be our space. But we're gonna go ahead and take a step back for a minute. And some of the Palestinians were like, hey, you know, can we be here for a minute? And they're like, you know what? Yeah. But it's still our space. It's still under our control. Don't forget it. The Palestine were like, we will respect your control. Like, we're not planning on stealing your stuff. We just want to be here for a minute. Okay. That's totally fine. You know, whatever. but it was getting to the point where the people, the original inhabitants of Palestine, only had very small areas that they could actually live in, because so much of it was now under Israel's control. For those that need a bit of, like, a way to look at it, think about reservations in the US. Oh, there are small areas of land that is given, and I'm going to put given in quotes, because technically it's just areas that aren't left alone, or like are left alone. But anyway, small sections of land that are quote-unquote given for the original inhabitants of the land to live in. And the people of Palestine are like, yo, this is not it. And so they, as this whole thing continues to build, it's been building, it's been boiling, it's been festering, it has been going on since, like, I don't know. Let me look. Oh yeah, it was 1917 that this started. So it has been over 100 years of just sitting and festering with anger over this thing that's happening. And they're like, you know what? We don't like this. We don't want it. We want our land back. You have the original boundaries. You have overstepped them. It is time for us to take our land back. And that is what I know about how this main battle started and what is happening. I have done lots of research. Again, I have been reading more than I have ever read in my life. Outside of school, I have, just... And it's not comfy. It's not. To be researching something like this, it's not comfy. It's not the most fun, and I fully understand the fact that it's not. I get it. 100%. I know for me, it took me a minute to even get the courage to start doing my research. Because I just had an inkling that I wasn't going to like what I was going to see, and I was correct. But just because I don't like what I'm going to see doesn't mean that it's just going to go away. Because I decided to look at funny memes instead of, what's happening. And if you want to look at funny memes, I am not dissing. You can look at funny memes all day long. You do you. But having a base level of knowledge as to what's going on and why it happened, I feel like that's important. Which is why I mostly focused on where it started. I felt like knowing where it started would be the best, place for me to start to think about things and look into what's going on and why it's happening. But that's just for me. That's just the way that worked best for me. And other people might have different thoughts, different feelings, and that's totally okay. That's totally valid. I am not going to say that you are wrong for doing your own research and coming up with something else. I would never do that. I'm a firm believer that we should have an understanding of what we're talking about before we talk about it. And I feel like the best way to do that is to do the research. For those of you that are on TikTok, you may have noticed that there is something happening currently known as Operation Olive Branch. And what Operation Olive Branch is some of the bigger content creators are doing what is known as sponsoring a family, which means that they are, like, this isn't the right word, but basically like advertising their GoFundMe and bringing more awareness, and those that participate have a family that they are sponsoring, like each one is doing a different family, and uploading content to any of their platforms to spread the message, so that way the families that are, you know, trapped in Gaza or anywhere else in Palestine or Israel who cannot get the care and help that they really desperately need. So they are sponsoring them, so that way they can let their audience, one, know what's happening, and two, give them a way so that way they can find a way to assist. Like, let's say they have a hard time with GoFundMe or something like that. They can repost and reblog and share these videos and just the content that's going up from this content creator. And the message can still go out. You know, like, the people who need the assistance, their message is being pushed more, so that way they can get more help from maybe different people. If you go onto itch.io, there are several game packs that are currently available. I believe it's still current. That when you purchase this pack, you get a whole bunch of like indie games. And you purchase this pack super cheap, the ones that I have found. And the proceeds from those packs go toward relief for Palestine and Israel. So those that need to get out, they can. So that way they can get food and water and basic medical treatment. And so the proceeds from that are going straight for the relief. One thing that's not going toward the relief, and one thing that makes me very angry that it still happened, even though it really shouldn't make me so angry, but it does, was the Met Gala, which is a whole other can of worms that I don't really think should be discussed in... Girl. Go elsewhere. Should be discussed in the same, you know, section, topic, whatever, when it comes to Palestine and Israel and the whole thing. So I thought that it was important to, you know, one, just talk about it, make sure that we all have at least some facts, especially those that, like, know that it would affect them, know that maybe the research would be hard, which, again, I get, because it is. Seeing the images and all of that, it's hard. But in my personal opinion, doing that is better than not knowing anything at all and living in ignorance. Some people say ignorance is bliss. I disagree. I feel like we should at least have a basic understanding. So that's why I decided to use Endless Ocean as a way to have a calming environment and be able to have this discussion, this lesson basically about why is this? What is happening and why? It is a full-fledged war. It is not a little battle. It's not an, oh my god, you know, how dare you. It is a full-fledged war. And even though it is uncomfortable, even though it sucks so bad, it is important for us to know the things that are happening. Because it's extremism. That's what's happening. It's extremism. And I know people are gonna have like different thoughts, different opinions, all of that. I personally feel like they should be expressed. Conversations should be happening. Again, I know it's so uncomfortable. I get it 100%. I spent a long time racking my brain as to how I want to do this. But I feel like these conversations need to occur. Not just so that way more people can have knowledge, but so that way just more people know in general. I know it's hard, I know it sucks. It sucks for pretty much everybody. Especially those of those beliefs or those that have family from that region, family that's in that region, who could be caught in the splash zone, I guess. It's awful, and it's so sad, and it's so scary, and I get that. I cannot feel what they feel. I have never experienced something like that. And I'm sure a lot of people can't actually fully empathize. But what we can do is research, and we can learn. I feel like that's very important, and I feel like education is very important at this time. Even if it's from, you know, a TikTok or a YouTube video or whatever. Any kind of education that you can get, I feel like, is worth it. Because, let's be real, not everybody knows what's happening. Even those that are making the videos may not know everything that's happening. Even those that are probably in the country might have some things that they just don't know. And that's okay. There is no problem with, you know, researching, going to other sources, trying to figure things out. Nothing wrong with that. I feel like it's important that we do so. That we try to learn and try to educate. And I feel like that's everything that I have on the current events of that I know of anyway. I do know that the crux of everything, the big blow up, I'm gonna say that's a bad word for it. I'm sorry. But when it started coming to national headlines was the 7th of October. That's when, like, the big blow up, I keep saying that, that's not the right word. That's when everything really came ahead. And since October, I believe it's over, a little over 40,000 of those that live in Palestine have passed. It is a great tragedy. No ifs, ands, or buts. It's a tragedy. And that is... for support. I had it written down and then I got stuck in my own brain of sadness. For support. I understand that not everyone is able to financially, assist, and I totally get that, I totally understand, because samesies. So, here's what you can do. You can share the videos, you can share posts, messages, the whole nine. What else? Make sure that you are educated, that you are, reading the news, understanding what's happening. If you want to make posts about it, by all means, share what's going on. And I understand that there is a lot of fear involved in doing so. One of my favorite content creators on TikTok is the creator of what's known as the Hell's Bells series, known as See Ya Later. They went on and they said that because of the support that they were giving, that people have been far less than kind in multiple aspects. And I understand that it's scary, because you see bigger creators getting such a reaction, like going as far as to give death threats to larger creators. And so I understand if you are scared or worried. That's okay. I understand the fear, I understand the worry. That's completely understandable. So you can, if you are fearful, which again, completely understood, just do research. Just educate yourself and others to the best of your ability. Start a conversation, have a dialogue. Maybe for all of, there are, I believe it's called change.org, where there's lots of petitions going on. You can sign those for what is going on in current times. You don't need to tell people. In fact, you can be almost completely anonymous. No one needs to know it was you. Now, there are ways to get around it that people don't even know that was you. I personally I don't really like sharing my beliefs on things, but just so everyone knows, the way I play video games, which is with the utmost violence, that's not how I want the world to be. I don't. I understand the anger, I understand the hurt, I understand all of it. I don't understand a lot of things. I'm gonna admit, I am not the most knowledgeable. I really don't know everything. I don't understand why people are so angry. I don't understand why something like this would happen in the first place, why people who are supposed to be trusted just go back on their word. I don't understand it. And I think, personally, that no one is in the right. I believe that in this scenario, there is no winner. I get that. I understand that. There are so many people that disagree with me. And I'm not going to say that they're wrong. I'm not. I'm also not saying that I'm correct. I'm saying that these are my feelings about what's going on based off of the research that I have done. Now, does that mean someone who did, you know, a little more research into a different area, does that mean that they are the most correct? No. That means someone who, I don't know, has years and years of like a political science under their belt and has an opinion on it. Does that mean that they are the most correct? No. I don't think that there is necessarily a correct way to think about this. Because lots of people feel very differently. I know that, I understand that, and there's nothing that I can say or do that's going to make people be like, oh my god, I see everything. Everything from everyone's point of view. That's just not a thing. And forcing others to believe the same thing you do? Equally, not a thing. That's how extremism occurs. I think I'm going to leave that there. That is the crux of my research. My research on what I have on like how this started, when it started, and the catalyst. Because again, I believe knowing why is very important, as well as knowing how. So I believe now that at least the people that are here, you know, have a bit more of an understanding as to, you know, where this is coming from. I believe we might be able to make more informed decisions. And be able to work from there to gather different research. Oh my god, this guy. And different research. And make their own informed opinions. Because I am not correct. But neither is any opinion. That's why it's called an opinion. And that's all. Again, that's all of my research. That's all I can really give. If you want to know my sources, again, it was, you know, my social medias, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Tumblr even. However, I also got it from hold on, let me pull it up so I don't mess it up again. the BBC, the United Nations website, which is un.org, and also from a slightly less reliable source, as some would say, Wikipedia. With those three combined, that's how I got, or those four combined, excuse me, so sorry, social media. I was able to gather all the research that I felt like I could, and be able to compile it in a way that I felt would be the easiest to digest, even though I'm not necessarily the best at explaining things. Anyway, I felt like that was important. Thank you very much for listening to my whole thing. I greatly appreciate those who have taken the time to listen, so we can all be slightly more educated together. There's one more thing that I for sure want to talk about before I start being fun. But I'm just gonna wait a minute, look at some fish, and then continue on with what the second thing that I would like to talk about. It's slightly less important. While it is still important, don't get me wrong, slightly less so. So I want to give this a moment to marinate before I continue. And drink some water, Jesus. I didn't realize I was talking for an hour straight. It's so horribly important. It's horrific and sad and scary. It is so horrifically important. Let me type something in real quick so I have a little more information about what I want to talk about next. Okay, cool. Okay. On to the second thing that I want to talk about. And admittedly, I have very strong feelings about this one because it makes me very angry. And whenever I try to discuss it, like in a video, I end up just yelling, and that's really not the kind of vibe I want to give off. Which is part of the reason why I decided to do it while playing Endless Ocean. Because Endless Ocean, for me, is very much a comfort game. It helps me to calm down and relax, which is why I decided to talk about such serious topics, while playing. But the next thing I want to talk about is an admittedly very American thing. So those outside of the US probably won't fully know what I'm talking about. But I would like to talk about the Met Gala. Basically, what the Met Gala is, it is a this isn't quite right, but it's the best way I could describe it. It's basically a party for the super rich and famous. The Met Gala was originally... Well, it was first founded. This is what I was looking up to make sure I had all my information correct. It was originally founded in 1948 by an individual named Lambert. They are a renowned fashion publicist, or/were, I don't really know for sure. And basically, it was to help fundraise a costume institute, and it also helped to mark the opening of an annual exhibit. So there was a full-fledged exhibit for Oops All Fashion, and it was different yearly. As time went by, people started to get, not as enamored with the fashion, and so the institute was like, hey, people aren't really into that, so we're thinking about shutting it down. And Lambert was like, absolutely not, you can't do that. I'm going to do something, like I need to fundraise, so that way we can still have our department. And I'm going to say that was the wrong thing, because I'm not fully sure on gender, and that's my bad. I don't know if it ever changed, so I'm just going to go by they. They decided to throw a ball, which was called the Met Gala. And this was supposed to show off the works of that department and get people to be interested again. Basically, a full party of people wearing their best, and the party was themed. It was themed off of what the theme of, what am I trying to say? The theme of the department. So let's say the department was floral. Everyone come in their best floral getup. And people are like, okay, fuck yeah, I can get behind this. Show me more. What's up? What's good? And it really, really helped to save their department, because people were very interested in seeing this quote-unquote high fashion. I say quote-unquote because I'm not entirely sure. I'm not a fashion guy. But looking at this high fashion, people were super interested and wanted to see more and all of it. And then people who are, famous, like movies and singers and songwriters, etc., were like, hey, we want to go. I think that would be cool. And I believe it was during that time that they decided to make it invite only. Make it more exclusive, get people more invested and interested. Again, I am not privy to the fashion world, so if I do end up messing something up, please correct me. But as far as I know, people were wanting to get into this exclusive club. I want to see all the fancy and the pretty. Why is it so exclusive? Well, show me more. And it got to be a big hit. It's still a fundraiser. It still makes sure that that costume institute has money, has the funds. But it's a giant party for the very rich and famous. Or, those that have the money to go to such a lavish and extravagant event. These tickets for the event, for those that did not get an invite, are steeply priced. I mean, like, you know the world's cheapest roller coaster? Triple that. It is a hefty price. And so people would save up for basically years so that way they can go to this lavish party. And, you know, wear pretty cute, you know, attractive clothing and see what's going on. This is how people, like, really started to notice the Met Gala. Because, you know, it's so expensive, meaning, oh my god, it's the need to go party, because obviously expensive means we need to have it. And so the prices kept increasing, and people kept on paying. So they're like, let's keep increasing. They're like, let's keep on paying. And all of the movie stars, the music people, all of that, they would get in for free because they got invited. That's a big thing. To get invited to the Met Gala is a big deal for those in the fashion community and those in, you know, any kind of entertainment industry. If they can get invited to the Met Gala, it's basically like a badge of honor. Like, oh my god, I was invited. Look at this, everybody. I'm better. Which is sadly what it boiled down to. But anyway, Met Gala. So many people wanted to go, they save up their money, the whole nine. And it got to the point where those who got invited to the Met Gala, you know, the red carpet looks for the Met Gala, and everyone's like, oh wow, who are you wearing? The reason why they ask, who are you wearing, is so that way they can judge the price of the outfit. Because there are some, what are they called? Designers. God, I couldn't think of it. There are some designers that could make several months worth of pay from one outfit for the Met Gala. Like, people are paying thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars for an outfit for such an event. Which, I get it, you know, it's a fashion event, you want to look your best. I don't understand thousands of dollars, as I wear the same jeans and t-shirt that I've worn since high school. But they spend so much money on an outfit, which, you know, okay, that's fine. It's not really fine, but it's fine. This is a day to be lavish. Sorry, I just got major whiplash. It is a day of lavishness. It is a day... I don't know how to say this properly, but it's a day where you live like royalty. Where you are, or quote-unquote, are royalty. In this space, full of high fashion, looking at the next season of whatever the Costume Institute has. And, of course, there is a theme. This theme is for everyone to participate in. Which is why there are so many articles saying this person or this person or this person did not follow the dress code for the Met Gala this year. Or this person nailed the dress code for the Met Gala this year. It has a dress code, it has a theme. The theme is whatever the Costume Institute says that it is. So let's say they want to do steampunk. The theme is steampunk, You want to dress with steampunk in mind. There are lots of people that do not follow this and decide to just wear whatever, as long as it's expensive. Which is not necessarily the point of what's happening. But, I mean, you know, you can't stop them. Until this go-round, this Met Gala, with the infamous Let Them Eat Cake. For people that don't really understand what that means, there was an individual. I'm sure we all know who that individual is, but I'm gonna say her name was Marie Antoinette. Marie Antoinette had many people below her. You know, she was one of the highest ranking people, and many people below her, who was stuck in poverty. And someone asked, like, I don't know, interview style, what about the people that are, you know, starving? Like, what are they gonna do? This lady looked dead in the eye and said, let them eat cake. Which made people incredibly angry. Admittedly, I would be too. Because what? But they got very, very angry. And because she did not care about her people, she got executed. It was more like that was the final nail in the coffin. But that's Marie Antoinette. Basically, she was beheaded. Now let's forward to today, where I believe her name, if I remember correctly, and I probably don't, so please forgive, the individual by the name of Haley made a TikTok video with an audio that said, let them eat cake, while she was at the Met Gala, while wearing an incredibly expensive gown, after she had allegedly, bought a ticket for the gala, which this year was not the $10,000 that it normally is, which is so much money. It was $75,000. The reason why it was $75,000 is because influencers, people who have a very large following on social media like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, whole nine, they were getting into the Met Gala. They were able to pay these fines. And there were quite a few people, quite a few celebrities that were like, we don't really like this. I feel like they're not doing as much. I would like for it to just be celebrities. Except they did not do it nicely as I have done so here. And so they're like, okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna raise the price considerably. Okay? So those that can afford it, which some people could, which bravo! But some people, the people that cannot afford it, just won't be here, and then we won't be fully alienating. And then there was like the, you know, the begrudge sign, then a fine. So $75,000. While there are individuals who cannot afford to feed themselves, while there are individuals who cannot pay rent, individuals who have 4 part-time jobs to try to get a studio apartment with roommates, and this lady made the TikTok that said, let them eat cake, which erupted. So many people were incredibly angry and believed, there were several people that believed that she was making fun of those that were less fortunate. Because here she is, in her extravagance, basically, in their eyes, basically spitting in the face of those that cannot afford such opulence. And people got incredibly angry. And they said, you know what? Celebrity culture needs to go. We're done, we're out, we don't need this anymore. And so they were done and out. There is now a mass blocking on social media of celebrities. Of pretty much any walk. And there are some people that are like, hey, you know, what's going on? Why is this happening? That is why. It's frustrating, it's irritating, and I understand where they're coming from. But my anger lies elsewhere in the situation, which is the fact that the ticket was $75,000. And I understand that it's a fundraiser. I do. I understand that. But I feel like you would want more people to participate in the fundraiser. I understand that celebrities were not happy and not excited. And they're your bread and butter, and that's totally fine. But they aren't paying for a ticket. Those that are paying, you know, the $10,000 are the ones paying for the ticket, and I thought, I think, that goes more toward the fundraiser than just, you know, having people there for free. So what irritates me about this situation isn't necessarily the fact that she was, you know, spitting in people's faces. Lots of people who are famous do that to those that are not. And that's just been what's happening, and I feel like people are just now realizing. Most of them don't. But several of them do. And, you know, like, I feel like it's just, that just happens. What makes me upset, what makes me mad, is that when people asked her, why did you do that? You know that there is, you know, wars going on. You did not use your platform for that. Instead, you used it to, you know, make people feel bad about themselves and their financial area. You know, what are we doing? What's going on? And they said, and I quote, I don't know enough to talk about the issues that you want me to talk about. Which, you know, 100%, I had to do lots of research myself before I talked about the main talking point of the first hour. I fully understand that, and I fully get that. In most parts of the US, the internet is free. Research is free. The library is open. I don't understand, I guess, why we couldn't. They have a strong social media following, so why can't we use our platform? And I understand it sounds, you know, weird coming from me. You know, I play video games and I suck at them. Oh my god, what do I know? And admittedly, not a lot. But I know to do research. I know that if I want to know things, I need to educate myself. I know that this is happening, and I should know why it's happening. you know? And again, I get it. Research. Scary. But at the same time, audience was begging. Like, dude, come on. And where I get irked. I get really irked. Is so much time is spent preparing for such an event. For such this big, lavish event that everybody wants to go to for some odd. And not once did it cross their mind. Not once did they decide, I should probably do some research, and I should probably talk to my audience. Not once. And that's where I get mad. Because it's hard to talk about. And does. I have been, admittedly, trying not to be super emotional and upset for a while now, as I talk about it. Because it's hard. It is. But knowledge is key. Knowing the things that are happening is key. Being able to inform others so they can help out in any way that they can is key. The problem comes when it's willful ignorance. The problem comes when you just decide not to. Like, I understand, for some people, it takes a while. Like, you gotta rev yourself up. I totally understand that. I get it 100%. As long as you are making the effort, I appreciate and support. What I cannot appreciate and support are those that just say, I don't want to. I can't do it. And I'll admit, I have done research on things that does not make me the most comfortable. Especially for, videos and things like that. I've done that. I'd do it again. But why? Because knowledge is important. Even if it's a small bit, it's important. So the video of the Let Them Eat Cake video made lots of people incredibly angry. Like, so super mad. And then, I forget exactly who, but there was one person that was like, hey, wait a minute. Like, pump the brakes. Because this is like a big and lavish event, whatever. But no one was donating to the cause. Most of the people there didn't donate, didn't really talk about it. What is this? Why do we care? Why do those of us that don't have a lot of money and that are trying to do, our best and make the biggest impact, why aren't those that have money and can make a change? And I feel like that's the biggest crux of the problem. They're like, oh, they're out of touch. Oh, times are changing. We need to, show them what happened, what's going on. But I feel like the main crux of it is people are tired. So tired of, working so hard. Again, 4 jobs to live in an apartment with roommates. It's insane. People cannot afford to feed themselves. But celebrities can spend thousands of dollars on an outfit that they're gonna wear for one night. And this led people to think, you know, and maybe they've flown too close to the sun. Maybe it's time for us to take them off their high horses. And because they are making their money off of us, off our consumerism, what if we take that away? I forget exactly what the theme for the Met Gala is this year. I think it was something to do with the Garden of Time. I know it's based off of a book, but I can't remember the title of the book, so I'm very sorry about that. But basically what it was, the Garden of Time. And a lot of people were like, this theme is ironic, because now the time of, like, celebrity, deep love, oh my god, is coming to an end. I don't know if I agree with that. Because I feel like I don't know, I feel like we're fighting a battle. But I don't know if it's the battle we want. Because people use their media and their content for escapism. I don't think that this is the battle that can or will be won. Superman Shark. I really don't think so.
Thanatos.
Oh, wrong thing, sorry. I really don't think so. I understand the movement, and I love that people are getting out of celebrity obsession. I love that for them. But I don't know if this is the battle to be won, or just a fight for fight's sake. Oh no, I could be entirely wrong. I cannot read minds. I am one of those people that don't get paranormal relationships. Like, in general, I have liked things. I have enjoyed the work of people. But I have never had a full parasocial relationship. So I cannot say what people are thinking or how it's going to go, because I have not experienced that. I know that there are people who have, and like full psychologists that know better. And I feel like getting their words on it, knowing what they have to say on it, would be very beneficial. Again, I am one person who does not feel that strongly about others. That's not what I wanted to say. in a parasocial sense. It's really, I've just never felt that way. But those are the two main things that I wanted to discuss. The Palestine and Israel conflict. They're basically like what led us to this point. And the Met Gala. And again, what led us to this point. And know I'm not the best at explaining things, which is weird because I was asked to teach a lot of students all at once. But that is the best way I can explain everything. If anyone has questions and stuff, there is a bunch of articles that can be used. There is a ton of videos, a ton of articles, just loads of content that can be... I know the word is consumed, but it's weird. That can be consumed at this time. That's going to give you so much information, you know? So I feel like looking into that and seeing, you know, what was I doing? Oh. Seeing, what you can find for you to make your own decisions. And, you know, have a general idea of what's going on, what's happening. Anyway, that's really all I have to say about the sad and admittedly disappointing and irritating things. You know, I think it's about time we chill with some fish. You know, just have a good time, swimming, coral reefs, tiny fish. Again, Endless Ocean has been my comfort game since elementary school. I remember when the game first came out, like the very first game, it was on the Wii. And my older sister and I, we would play this game for hours, just yelling at each other about the different fish that we missed. Like, how dare you miss that one? It's my favorite fish. We didn't even know what kind of fish it was. We're like, how dare? And I think about it a lot. And the game became a source of comfort for me. Especially when I, you know, started to grow up and I realized I couldn't get that time back. I really always loved Endless Ocean. And when it was only for the Wii, I got so sad. And then the second Endless Ocean came out. But it was at a time where it was unwise of me to be able to get and play the game. So I had to miss out on the next Endless Ocean. Which really made me sad, but you know what? That's okay. You know, I was busy, I was doing my own thing. And that's totally fine. And then, like the day after this one came out, one of my friends was like, hey Games, guess what? Because I told him before about Endless Ocean and how much it meant to me. And he's like, hey Games, guess what? And I was like, what? He's like, there's a new Endless Ocean. And I'm like, you are fucking lying to me. How dare you lie to me? And he's like, no, it's for real. And he showed me the trailer. And I was like, oh my god, I'm so excited. When does this game come out? And he's like, that's the best part. It came out yesterday. The way I squealed. I was like a child. I squealed so loud. And I was like, you are lying. And he's like, I'm not lying. I went to the, what's it called, the eShop. And there it was, plain as day. I was on call with him, screaming about Endless Ocean. I was just so excited. And now that I'm playing, lots of old memories are coming back. We didn't have a lot of room in the house when we eventually had to move. And so my older sister and I would play the first Endless Ocean game in a garage in the middle of 100-degree heat, because the look of being underwater and like the cold of the water legit gives me chills, and it makes me feel chilly. So whenever it's like hot, like it was today, I feel the urge to play Endless Ocean, and then I can go off. Which I know, it's kind of weird, but oh, I love it. Same thing with Whiskey and Snowboard. I would play that, especially on hot days. I miss it. That's okay. Because here I am now. It was so many years ago. I think it was close to 10 at this point. Here I am 10 years later, playing Endless Ocean Luminous for the followers and subscribers, and sharing my love for this game. Now game series, where you get to pet a fish. That's the thing, in the first Endless Ocean you were able, like straight up, it had a hand icon, because you know, Wiimote, you want to get the motion capture. It was a hand icon, and what you did is you rubbed the fish, like rubbed the fish's head, so you were able to give like great white sharks head pats. And I feel like that was the best part about Endless Ocean. It's these giant monstrosities of the sea. And you're like, get over here so I can ruffle up your scales. Oh, it was so much fun. I loved it so much. Who dares to message me at this time? I'm so sorry. Please hold. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, back in action. Yeah, it's always held a very close place to my heart. It's a fish-sized spot. And I was so sad that I couldn't get the second one. But again, life happens. Doesn't matter. It's all good. Because now I have legs. This may sound weird, but my username when I play games, like free time games, not recording games, I created it while I was playing Endless Ocean. So it's fish themed. However, I cannot spell well. Like, I just can't do it. I try so hard. It doesn't work out. It's a problem. But whatever. So, it's spelled wrong. But I continue to use that same username forever and ever. Because I love Endless Ocean. And it is entirely based off fish. Excuse me, sir. The old man's back. Oh. His teeth out. He looks kinda beat up. Not kind of. He is beat up. Oh, why are we lagging? How dare you? Oh, shark! Probably if there were subtitles, they would say that it was a swear. It was not. I was talking about a shark. You. This gets 75% of the creatures. I'm not even halfway done with the map. Oh no! What am I supposed to do? Swim faster. I don't even know why I liked Endless Ocean. Like when I first started to play, this is before the sentimentality of it, I was even more not interested in the water. Like, it's not like I dislike the water, it's just that I don't like being wet. So when I was younger, we'd go to the ocean, as one does, like as a big family outing. And like, this is our summer plan. Go to the water. And everyone was like, hell yeah. And they'd be like, you should get in the water. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. I don't know when it started. I'm totally fine with like a pool or whatever. I used to be anyway. But when it came to the ocean, I was like, ugh. Probably because I couldn't fully see everything that's in it. And it went so deep. I think that may have been it. But then I got Endless Ocean. By we got, I mean, it was my mother's game, and she's like, you guys can play, and then it became a tradition for my sister and I. Because she didn't really play the Wii as much. Anyway, back on topic. After playing Endless Ocean, I got more okay with the ocean itself. And I think it's because I was able to know. Like, there's stuff in there. This is what the bottom looks like. Even though it's a video game, so there's some liberties. But there's also, you know, lots of realism. This Endless Ocean is right. And so I feel like this game in particular really helped when it came to my dislike of the ocean. I'm still not the biggest fan of it, don't get me wrong, but it's not as bad as it was before. Ew. It's a Goldine. Who are you? Not a Goldine. Just on a line. 58. Oh my god. You know what? I kind of want to see. Okay. If we could do the next story now. Make 10 to 18. I don't know what capture dive capacity does. Real team player. Am I supposed to be doing this with other people? I don't wanna. Investigation agent. Yay! An ominous oh, what is this? Scan features 3,200 times. I think I did that. Damn good. I don't want to take a photograph. I do it by accident. The number of creatures you could swim with will increase. Up to 2-3, an ominous discovery.
Whatever caused that flash should be around here.
I forgot about that because it's been like a week.
I have activated the beacon light, but note that visibility will still be extremely limited.
The depths. It's a tree. That's another world coral.
It is markedly similar to the world coral. However, a live matter survey indicates that it has been almost entirely overtaken by the necrotizing effect.
Isn't that up? If there was another world coral, we'd know.
Reviewing database. Access denied. There's something there, but I don't have permission to view it.
Aw, damn.
Transmission from HQ.
We're patched through again.
I have been granted permission to retrieve relevant information from the database. But first, HQ has a message for the two of you. By proving yourselves in the field, you've shown us you're ready to receive the following intel. There isn't just one world coral. There are two of them. One in the canyon, and one in the depths. Few know about the latter. This used to be a thriving ecosystem. A bustling city of underwater life.
Looks like those days are over.
Topographical changes on the seafloor caused hostile conditions for this deep-sea community. It was deprived of light, and in the darkness began to wither and die. Conversely, as the coral died, these shifts in the seafloor became more extreme, creating a dangerous feedback loop, and a threat to the world's deep ocean circulation.
Deep ocean circulation? Like the system of currents in the world's oceans?
Deep ocean circulation is analogous to the circulatory system in a human. It comprises the heart and veins of our planet. It is critical to maintaining life.
Did you guys hear about the fact that they found an ocean under the crust of the earth? Oh my god. We've always been walking on water. Oh my god. It just reminded me. Oh, it made me so excited and so nervous when that discovery came to light.
Without intervention, the topographical shifts will worsen, ultimately halting all deep ocean circulation. In that scenario, we forecast cascading ecological impacts, ending with a total extinction event. The loss...
Oh, sorry. Oh, no way. Absolute bunk. Not buying this, are you? I think it's right.
We have run countless simulations. All of them end with the same result.
I like how he's standing so confidently and it looks like I'm a turtle.
So this is the true purpose of the project, to prevent this scenario from occurring. As researchers for Aegis, you are the planet's line of defense against total biological destruction. Good luck.
I would have liked to know that before I got hired.
Transmission ended. I had not had access to that information before. It seems there are certain things even an AI isn't allowed to know.
Guess they wanted the total extinction thing kept under wraps. This is heavy. I guess they could just forget all of... Oh my god. Wish I could just forget all about this. Go to the beach. Have some fun before the world ends.
Hold on. Look at the mystery board. It's glowing more brightly than before. Slowly but surely, your research is making a difference.
Oh yeah, I've been filling that up by accident. Right, okay, we're getting somewhere. There's no time to mope, huh? Fate of the world's on our shoulders.
That's right. You're well on your way to accomplishing your goal. You just have to take it one mystery at a time.
Complete. Chapter 2-3, An Ominous Discovery. Stargazer. Yeah. You've got to be kidding me. Oof. I wish I knew what these were. And I knew how to do it. Interior of an island. Oh yeah, the event's over. I forgot there even was an event. Makes it 100%. Why? Alright, I forgot I do that. Now, where am I? Let's go over here. Let's go to where that ominous tomb is. As you look at the indecipherable characters, a vague impression of words, a conversation, and half-remembered dream appears in your head. 7 sages, including a Penda, go to this land to bring about as planned. The words that had drifted about in your head disappeared. It feels like the mystery board trembles just a little. Okay. Up a little bit. Where is it? There's treasure. Treasure? Nope. And treasure. Oh. Yes, 2 treasure. I got the ring. And a cute fox. Love that for me. Where are we going? This way. Oh, I forgot about the squid. The zebra! Oh my god, I love him. I totally forgot about zebra sharks. I don't know how. He's so cute. Oh. No. I'm busy. Got a rock. Excuse me. A ruby gemstone. Have I scanned so many fish? But I can't progress the story. Yeah, fish friends. Most of these fish would not be your friends. I don't know why that one was in the back corner, but okay. But when there's a question mark, it means that you have scanned a new kind of fish. Most of the time I don't, because I'm a scanning fiend. I need to work at a grocery store. I scan so good. It was a bad joke. Boo. It was so bad, it made me laugh. It was so bad. And then all these guys. I said now 40 fish can go with me? But why do I want to swim with 40 fish? It feels like I won't be able to see anything. As you approach the ancient disc, it feels as though someone's voice, coming from a long ways off, was echoing inside of your head. Right here, while swimming aside a shark faring white. What's B? Oh, right. Is there a way I could do that? How do I shark friend? I need to find my shark friend. Shark friend. Woo hoo. Oh, excuse me. Gentlemen, hello. Hand back here, which means shark friend should be over here. There you are. Okay, let me...
Zebra shark.
No. No, that's stuck there. Of course. Sharkman? Can you come with me? Don't run away! Shark friend! There's gotta be a way to do it. That thumbs up is gonna bother the crap out of me. And I'll even come back. So I don't have to deal with the phone. Yeah, I know all of it sucked. I just need to get rid of it. Fuck, it is getting hot in here. Give me 1 second, I'm gonna open the door. So sorry about that. I opened the door and then I had to check on my cat. As she has, most unfortunately, started to go deaf. So I just check on her, make sure that she's good. Because she is very old. And she has old kitty bones. Creature dive. Fuck! It's still there! Oh wait, no. Gonna be there for the rest of the time. I just want him to join me. I don't know how I missed a whole colony of fish. I didn't realize that I am in uncharted areas. We're now at 60% of the area being filled out. Nice, nice. We love to see it. We love to see it. Love the vibes. I keep forgetting that I could just let it go and then I can keep going and it'll still count. Stingrays are so funny looking. I like your dorsal fin, sir. Another white zebra shark. How am I supposed to do a creature dive? Maybe we need to be a certain rank. Oh no, this game doesn't really help you. Fuck. Yeah, evil. Moray. I knew that because of Splatoon. Oh, I'm back over here. Cool. Away I go. Oh. Sounds vibrating. It's vibrating. It's one is. We have to scroll for 17 days. And we're scrolling 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 and it's not. Using that big old groove. Found him! Their time 4 hours, 14 minutes.
All targets have been scanned and the mission is complete. Well done.
Thank you. So what's the next mission?
Transmission from HQ. A very large source of strange biometric signs has been detected above the water. Sending drone footage.
Birds!
This footage shows the area in question. Birds appear to be flying in, and the source of the biometric signs is descending.
Ooh!
A large species of bird flew in from the surface. Could this be the creature we've been detecting? Is it the leader of the flock? It appears that the creature is on the move. Readings indicate it has exceptional swimming abilities. We need to collect additional data on it. Get close and try to scan it.
Oh, okay. Over there. So sorry, everybody. I'm not scanned for the road. be tired. Yeah, I'm trying to get there. I told me that's treasure. Where we're going, we don't need treasure. They're shiny. So close to the surface, too. I'm in love, gotta say. Very cool song. Also, I want you to know that almost every time I press B, the controller vibrates, so it has just been going non-stop. I hit a wall on that one. Where are you? Oh, nice. And then you go back up and around. Fuck. It's fine. Let's go this way and look at this. Here we go, here's the zone. How to get in? No. Okay, now let's see to get into the middle. There it is.
Transmission from HQ. Additional UML data received. A close examination of the collected data will be conducted. It appears that this species is closely related to pelicans, but there have been no cases of such a large creature reported elsewhere, so it seems likely the creature is unique to this area. HQ has decided that this creature will be called Simurgdaria, in reference to a mythological bird. It is possible that this species acts as the leader of the other nearby seabirds. The name is appropriate for the head of a group. We believe that if we continue to observe its behavior, we may better understand this species' way of life.
Okay, cool. What's with all the shinies? I'm just going around collecting shinies. This is where all the birds were? It's not even doing the collection sound. No, I cannot. Just collect the shinies, I guess. Oh shit, we're all going over here now? So valid. Another case of the shinies. Why are we just dropping shinies? What the fuck is happening? Oh, there you are. Where we going, big guy? I was just here. Could have quicker than that. Oh, the birds. He just left. Right away to oblivion. Oh. Bird. Okay, I am observing. What am I supposed to do with you? Oh. Gonna munch. Gonna crunch. Are there any more shinies I need to get? I didn't see anywhere, but maybe. I'll be back. Maybe I'm too far ahead. a shiny. Also, I don't think I didn't notice. It's making like a triangle. I don't know what the reason is for all the shinies, but are the shinies? Oh, wrong way. Any fish? There were shinies. I don't know why I'm finding shinies. Are there any more in here? No.
Transmission from HQ, UML vanishing from the dive site in concurrence with topographical shifts. However, faint signs continue to linger. If you're lucky, you may find another UML in these waters.
Yeah, lucky.
HQ will continue to monitor the situation. In the meantime, please enjoy the sea and all it offers.
Why was that so long? There's no more shinies. Okay, I'm assuming there's no more shinies. Alright, day 700 of Hanging Water. somewhere. Went in a circle. Got you. There it is. Just double checking, make sure I did that. Yep. What? Why am I vibrating?
HQ is detecting another set of strange biometric signs. We may have yet another chance to find a UML. These specimens are emitting unusual biometric signals, measurably different from the baseline for their species. Besides being useful for finding UMLs, this unique phenomenon makes them worthy of study in their own right.
There's my names again. Don't know why I said it like that. It is the entertaining, for most people, portion of the game. I just like the little fish, though. Boom. No, go. You know what? Let me even do one more story mission. And I'll call it an evening. Up. Didn't even say that. Boo. Okay, one more story. Or not. You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and end the stream here. So, thank you very much, everybody who joined me. Everyone who listened to me ramble for 2.5 hours. And for listening and giving it the time of day. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. And hopefully, I will see you later.